Hey guys, Ben and I were just talking, and I wanted to ask Ben some questions. So, just in the past couple months, Ben has been really interested in getting into business, a side business. He's building this financial business here. But Ben, why you've been in the industry, a little over a year now, the financial industry. Why are you not choosing to go the traditional route, like save up a little extra money, open the traditional IRA, park the money away there, and just let it grow for 30 years? And as opposed to, you're thinking, how do I get the skills to go become an owner of a hardware store? And tell me a little bit what's going through your head. Why would you make that weird drastic shift in investing instead of going the traditional route?
Yeah, well, for for me, I've never been that drawn to the stock market. Growing up, my dad owns four hardware stores, so I grew up in that industry. I grew up, with learning that business and just having more of a business owner mindset, I guess you could say. When you're part of a family business, you kind of have that mindset kind of impressed upon you. And I mean, it was great, but my dad never, he never invested a dime into anything other than real estate in his businesses. And I mean, now he has a multi-million dollar net worth, and and he has businesses that can run without him being present 100%. I mean, he still has to check in, but my whole idea behind becoming financially independent, that's what it all stems from, is having assets that produce income that pay me every month, and having multiple streams of income. So, my business here with the financial practice is one, but then going and investing in another business that, at the beginning, it's probably going to take some time and dedication to set the foundation and make sure that everything's running properly. It's going to take some time, but over time, it's going to be a business that I don't have to be present in 100% of the time, but it's still paying me every month. So I'm not that interested in watching my money go somewhere to fund someone else's business ventures that I don't necessarily believe in, and
Mhm.
and wait 30 years and hope that it's grown to a big pile. I'm just not interested in that. I'd rather have control of where my money's going.
I love it. So when do you feel like you said you were raised with that business mindset, but when did it become a reality that you could do this instead of because you're not planning to leave the financial industry, you're not planning to stop your lifestyle you're doing now. Like how when did it become like a reality that hey, I can do multiple things and still maintain sanity and still have a family life and still be a good Catholic and still do all the things like, you know, curious, like when did that light bulb go off for you?
I honestly, I would say probably 6 months to like a year ago, probably. I mean, just I've been being around people with that mindset of, you don't have to just do one thing. I mean, I follow a lot of people on social media that do a lot of those things. They had a 9 to 5 job, and then they took and they invested their extra income into real estate. So that was some motivation, and so seeing a lot of that and seeing other people doing it over the last year, 6 months to a year, has got me really to think like, well, hey, it's not like I have to pick this or that. I can pick
Mhm.
this and that as long as, as long as I have the skills to build a team and to make sure that it can work without me being fully present. So yeah, it's just very recently, because before I got into the financial industry, there had been a hardware store that came up for sale around 2020, and my dad and I were going to go in and purchase it, and it ended up selling to someone else. But at that time, my mindset probably wouldn't have been right to get into that business, because I probably would have just been stuck and not grown personally to where I am today.
So what's your game plan to be able to take down a hardware store while building this? Like what's going through? Obviously you haven't done it yet and it's new, but
Yeah.
I know you, right? We're kind of opposite temperaments when it comes to like, ready, aim, shoot type thing. What do you know about yourself that you're going to have to overcome just to tackle this project?
One thing I'll have to overcome is just being okay with things not being perfect. So I'm definitely a perfectionist. So I like everything to be just so, and just have to realize, like, maybe it's not all going to work out exactly as I see it in my mind, and I just have to be okay with that, and be able to adjust and make adjustments. So that's probably the biggest challenge is just that.
Okay, so we're 3 years later, you own one or more extra stores and you're running this business and it's a success. What would it's a very weird question, I know, but what do you think you're going to be most grateful for when you look back and realize kind of the headache, the mess, the learning, the challenges that you overcome, but now you did it? Like, what do you feel like your life's going to be like to accomplish that?
I mean, I think it's going to be a sense of fulfillment that I tried it, and that maybe things didn't go exactly as I expected, and maybe not how I envisioned, but I everything worked out, and I have an extra stream of income that I can now use to go and invest into more businesses and invest into myself, and just knowing that, hey, I did this once, now I can go do it again and again.
Yeah.
Just, I think learning that process is going to be fulfilling to me.
I think the confidence too, that you'll be able to walk around and just be able to be that person in that room that can add that value to other people will be invaluable, especially in your finance practice, because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about business, about structure, about talking to people, about partners, about employees. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So any closing remarks? Otherwise we can wrap this one up.
No, I think we covered it.
Cool.